Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, Astro-Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. It is a pleasure to be with you. Oops, excuse me about that. It is a pleasure to join you this evening. Hold on, let me get some things straight here. I see why they have what they call producers and things of that nature. They really do. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because you can't do it all by yourself. But anyway, hi everybody. It's Wednesday. And you know what's interesting? Believe it or not, it's 2023, the brand new year, but we're into the third month already. Amazing. It is really, really amazing, folks, that either time is going by swiftly, or as they said, there's a Jackie Levine said, my guest on the show last week, there's a paradigm shift. I do believe that, definitely without question. But in the meantime, though, I am my guest today. That's me. I'm starting off the month with me. Next week, I'm going to have a slew of new guests. On Monday, it will be Love Rainey. She is a wellness practitioner. Then I'm going to have some physical fitness persons on, Brian Carr and his friend Craig, I do believe. And so then I'm going to have a whole lot of other people coming on too. So anyway, it's you and me. Okay, I'm going to take your calls. I'm going to read as many people as I can. But before I do that, let me read today's cosmic forecast for the brand new month of March. Okay, it is March the 1st. Okay, as we know. Um, Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me say that, well, when I finish, I'll do that. But it is Monday, March. No, it's Wednesday. I knew something was, I'll get this right. It's Wednesday, folks, not Monday, Wednesday. All righty. And the sun is in Pisces, the moon is in Cancer. That is true. It's a one universal month. The only thing that is incorrect is the day that's listed. But over and above that, the sun is in Pisces, the moon is in the cardinal sign of Cancer. It is a one universal month. How did I do it? Very simple. You took 2023 and you added the month of March, which is the third month, and you add it up to a one. It's a two universal week, but it is a master number 11 universal day. And for those under the signs of Leo, Aquarius, and Cancer, and I happen to be an Aquarius, or those born on the 1st, 2nd, 10th, 11th, 19th, 20th, 28th, or 29th of the month. Well, this should be a pretty interesting day for you as you started out. I'm going to be making some announcements later on, but right now, I think I'm going to get right into it. But by the way, this week's show is sponsored by the Sisterhoods of the Traveling Spreads. They were going to have it last week, but now they've moved it back to this Sunday. Is that right? Sunday? I believe that's right. But it is, you see, March the 5th, and the time it's going to be 6 weeks. It's going to be very intensive. It's going to be Jazz Aphrodite, Nina Diamond, I think Aquarius Maximus. And so it should be good. But they are sponsoring this week's show. All righty. And I want to let you know that this is Jackie's book. It is now out. Jackie Levine, she was a guest on last week this time. And she was talking about her book, but it is out. It is real, but it is limited. Okay. So y'all can wait around if you want to, but when the books run out, that's going to be it. And when books are rare to find, they become collector's items. And actually, believe it or not, they become more valuable than otherwise. Okay. But for those who are in the bibliophiles, that is those who read books, like I got collections of books and stuff like that. They know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is what I want to mention. Since I was on 19 Keys show, right? This is back in November. I've been busy ever since. I'm going to call him and tell him about himself. Anyway, I noticed that people are making donations to the show, which I think is great. It's all new to me. It's all cool. I'm not going to drop everybody because people are making donations, but here's what you can do. For those of you who cannot make a physical donation, which is not my intention, but if you do, what you can do, if nothing else, is push the like button. That don't cost you no money. And yet, people going to want some readings because I got a whole stock. At 5:03 this afternoon, I got somebody calling about a reading. So I am going to start off with them. But what I'm saying is, folks, sometimes money comes in other forms. Okay, it's not just sometimes a dollar bill. It could be compensation for services rendered, in exchange, bartering, things of that nature. So barter. If you cannot make a donation, because for those who make a donation, I'm definitely going to respond to them. I'm telling you, I'm beginning to find out from Brother Rich and others how this deal goes down. I will respond to them for those that do make a donation. However, for those that don't want to make a donation or can't make a donation, that's fine too. I'm going to read you anyway. That's what I've been doing before November of last year anyway. But the point is, there is a way you can help if that's the case. I'm not into like, share, and subscribe. The people that are helping me are into like, share, and subscribe. So what I'm saying is this: please, if you don't mind, at least push the like button. It's simple. It doesn't require no money. It doesn't require a lot of energy because it's just one finger. Okay. So please do that. All righty. So anyway, I'm going to get started. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to get in everybody's business. Okay. And I'm going to start with the and to Empress, my moderator, I thank her very much with her Leo self. The very first person that called in today was Nina. And she did this at 5:03. So I'm going to start with her. You are correct. Your life path is a 7. In other words, the month, the day, and the year you're born. Let me explain this way. Numerology, the fascinating part about it is broken into 2 parts: your birthday and your name. For the birthday, I call it like the pupil, what you here to learn. This is why when you know what hit the fan and we go into the why me mode, that comes from your birthday. So she's in a 7 life path. Some call it a birth path. Some call it a destiny number. These are all the interchangeable. So I teach my students, don't get caught up in the semantics, as they call it. As long as you say, oh, when you add the month, the day, and the year you're born. So I've learned that because I'm into numerology for many decades, that people may not understand the language. So I'll say that in her case, she's in the 7th grade in the school of life. Now, when you say that, that creates a better understanding because we all going to school, let's say many of us, and whatever grade you're in, you got to learn those lessons if you want to go to the next grade. So in my orange book in back of me, Numbers in You, the orange book, and you can find out your destiny number or what grade you are in the school of life and what does it mean. So it means during the course of this person's life, they will find that Pisces and Cancers and those that are born on a date that adds up to the 2 or the 7 will follow them. They will find that they will have a more spiritual consciousness. They would make an excellent detective from the combination of the zodiac sign, the date of birth, and the destiny number. And they should get into writing too. And let me tell you, who's ever dealing with you, Nina, they better be prepared to answer some questions because you never run out of questions. Nothing personal. Okay. So, by the way, your lucky numbers are the 5, 4, and 1. And you'll find that Wednesday and Friday and, hold up. Wednesday, Monday, and Sunday are your best days. Actually, it's Wednesday, Sunday, Monday. That is the order of the days that it affects you. All righty. So that's it. I'm going to read a couple more, then I'm going to kind of skip around. Now, this one I found interesting. There's always patterns. This person, hi, Erlene, she's May 5th, May 13th. Notice if you look at the date of birth, see, I do this so much. For you, y'all just might look at these numbers, but notice the son is born on 11/10 and the daughter is born on 10/11, which I think is interesting. Okay. And they're born 11 years apart. And her destiny number, she thought it was an 11, but the proper way I add up to a 20. But that's called the awakening. So that means she's always raising people's awareness and consciousness, even since she was in elementary school, talking about this, that, and the other. But for her numbers are the 4, 1, and 5, which means Mondays and Sundays are her best days. No, excuse me, Sunday and Monday and Wednesdays are her best days. As for her firstborn son, the November the 10th, he's very strong-willed, don't take orders well, may need wear glasses up the road, who knows. And his numbers are the 1, 4, and 9. So that's where the 4 and 1 come from. And with your daughter, she's just the opposite. She is more psychic, more intuitive, more kind of like into things beyond what people can see. So her numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. So that's it. All righty. And there's some other interesting things too. Now, with this couple here, for example, Debbie Denal, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She wants a reading for her sons. Well, first of all, if you look, they're both fire signs. One is an Aries, one is a Leo. So that's good right there. Numerically, if you look at the date of birth, it may not mean anything to you, but they're both fire signs with water numbers, both your sons. So that simply means that you got sons that are very fiery, passionate, proactive, and yet very sensitive, all depending on what day of the week you catch them on, okay? With your son. And it's so interesting because the firstborn son, his numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. And with your second-born son, his numbers are the 7, 2, 1, and 4. So your youngest one got 4 digits, and your firstborn got 3 digits. But they both should be very close because 2s and 7 are the moon numbers. 7 rules the new moon. The number 2 rules the full moon. They're both fire signs. I would say, although they're born 8 years apart, I would say they will be very, very close. Okay. Let's see this person. Let me see. I want to thank this. Okay. Let me see. Can I go this person here? Okay. There's a person that just donated $9. I pressed the thing and it disappeared. I don't know where it went. That's weird. Okay. This is from Tay Tay. Tay Tay says her birthday. Thanks for the donation, Tay Tay. Her birthday is June the 13th. So her numbers are 415. That means you're an air sign with an air number. It also means that you are a 3 destiny or 3 life path, or that you're in the 3rd grade in the school of life, which means it's about being creative, imaginative, expressive, things of that nature. Your key numbers, by the way, again, are the 4, 1, and 5. And it tips and tells me you like to think outside the box, which is why Tay Tay, you'll have some secret enemies. And even when I did the name Tay Tay, sometimes that'll be kind of contradictory because you're born on the 13th, but yet under the Chaldean system, the name Tay adds up to a 6, and 6s and 4s are oppositional numbers. Now you call yourself Tay Tay, so I'm looking at 6, 6, which would add up to a 3. And so this is, so on one hand, Tay Tay indicates you're very outgoing, very much into a work in progress, making something of yourself, things of that nature. Yet you don't like a lot of people interrupting your affairs too. You're very private. But your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5, and Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays are your best days. Thank you. All right, now let me go to the other end of the spectrum and start with, okay. Ayana says, are you on the right, am I on the right page? I would imagine so. Uh, this comes on every Monday and Wednesday. But now for the likes, please press the like buttons. There are people who are making donations. I respect that. But for those of you who feel you can't, and believe me, it's not about that. I'm just saying, do your part, folks. You know, freebies are nice. And I know a lot of people want in depth, which I can't do because of the time. If I took one person, it would take an hour to do it. So I can't do that. So I have to keep it short, sweet, to the point, interesting, and stuff like that. But the point is, for those, I will take donations periodically because people are investing in themselves, and you can invest in the show too. The like is free. The share is free. The what's like, share, subscribe is free. I knew there were 3 of them. Like, share, subscribe, push the bell button, whatever that is. And, you know, but again, it don't cost you nothing other than one little finger to push the like button. Okay. So let's get the likes up, please. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And okay. So let's go to, who's this one? Okay. Rose Antoinette. Thanks, Rose Antoinette. Can you pay for a reading at a separate time? One cap says, actually, the readings don't cost you anything. If you get on now, if you reach me privately, yes, because then I'm on the clock as well as you. Over and above that, there is really no charge when people call in. I just can't answer everybody in the time that I give myself, which is at least an hour, sometimes over an hour. Okay. So I try to do the best I can when I'm doing the shows. But you don't have to pay for a reading, but if you do, go to Lloyd-Strayhorn.com and schedule a session. Right now, I understand I'm booked through April. You said what happened to you. I really don't know what that means in that sense, unless you'd said something earlier that I didn't get to. But anyway, let me do this person here. This is Rose Crockett. They're born August the 28th. Their spouse is Gary Matthews. And he is September the 5th. So although they're born in different months, they're under the same zodiac sign. She is a Virgo 1 person. He is a Virgo 5 person. And she said they married on the third, where is this? The third of 2020. Here's what's interesting. I mean, 2012. If you look at that year 2012, it's a 5. Well, her husband is born on the 5th, and her numbers are the 1, 4, and 5. His numbers are the 5, 6, and 9. So they have 5 as a common denominator. And on that day when they married, it was an 8 universal day, which is good for births, marriages, pregnancy, separation, divorce, moving into a home, moving out of a home, a whole lot of things. So it's very interesting. So they're both Virgos, and they got married under the sign of Virgo. And when I did the name Rose, for example, let's see, that's 15, 16, 17, that's 8. That's a money number. Rose is an 8. That's a money number. Gary is a 7. That's a reserve number. So there'll be some times that y'all have a way of having this understanding that words don't need to be exchanged, if that makes sense. But I wish you all the best, Rose Antoinette, and to your wonderful husband, Gary, all the best, okay? So let's see who we got here. This is Benetta Sutton, and she says her birthday is November the 5th. Her husband is February the 25th. Any advice is to make our relationship more harmonious? Yes. We tend to bump heads a lot. Married on July 14th of 2021. Been together 16 years. Okay. Well, let me say this. First of all, both of you, Benetta, are water signs. Okay. And then you are an air number. He's a water number. And I can understand the butting of heads in that sense because, first of all, 5 is very outgoing. 5 is gregarious. That's your number, Benetta. 5s are all over the place. They are people oriented. They like to travel. They like a lot of variety. They like movement. Well, your husband's number is just the reverse. 7s are normally very low key as a rule. Now, it all depends on other factors like the name and stuff, which is why I take the time to do sessions in detail. But at the same time, though, um, I can see, listen, as I mentioned before, the only time they live happily ever after is in the fairy tale books or somebody's watching too much Disney. I had no problems with it, but I know that only in the fairy tale books and they live happily ever after. And I think that that has caused a lot of people to think that when they get into marriage or any serious relationship, that everything is going to be hunky dory. They're going, listen, the sun don't come out every day. So I wouldn't expect that always to be 100% because if so, everybody would get married. But the fact that the divorces are so high, that should tell you something there. And here's my attitude. The notion to me is, okay, my mother used to call it the core ritual. That if I'm interested in you and want to take you out on a date, I'm going to make sure I wash, brush my teeth, put some cologne on, some deodorant on, have a couple of dollars in my pocket and get you. And you know what? You're going to do the same thing too, lady. Okay. You're not going to come out looking in your kind of way with rollers in your hair and all that stuff. So we're making an impression. That's why my mother called it the courtship ritual. So then after the time goes by, whether it's weeks, months, years, and people finally marry, that's really when the work begins, folks. I'm here to tell you, okay? I was once married. I can tell you from experience. Yeah, just because you get married, that don't mean you gotta, hey, I ain't gotta do nothing else now. I ain't gotta tell my man I love him. I ain't gotta tell my woman what she means to me. I ain't gotta do nothing. I'm married now, Mrs. So-and-so. I'm Mr. So-and-so. But let me tell you, for those who are into their relationships, they will tell you that's when the work begins and not taking each other for granted just because you're married. So in this case, yes, you're going to have some differences of opinion, but that goes with the territory, Benetta. But it's how you deal with it. For example, I've said it several times and I'll say it again. In the days of your parents, grandparents, their parents, and parents and parents, it wasn't about these zodiac signs. It wasn't about these numbers. It was for better or worse, for sickness and health, for richer or poorer. That was the standard. There was no word such as prenups. Okay. All that's 21st century drama. Okay. And so what I'm saying is, but they worked through it. And I'm talking about these great grandparents of ours had multiple children. My father, I think, came from about 13 brothers and sisters. Okay. My mother came from about 7 or 8 brothers and sisters. And so don't think their parents didn't have a hard way to go and say, like, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? So modern times is nothing compared to the back in the daytime when you really had to work through things like this. You didn't have all these amenities like internets and fancy cars and nice jobs and high degrees and whatnot. Black people were doing the best they could do, and they worked as a unit. Now everybody, I got mine, you got to get yours, and then we want to know why things are the way they are. So Bonetta, welcome to the real world, dear. The sun's not going to come out every day. So if you bump heads, hey, work with it, but find out what works him, and he should also find out what bumps your nerves or works your nerves too. And then you'll come to a meeting of the minds. All right. All right. Now this is Ayana. Ayana came on quiet. She says, am I in the right program? So yes, you are. And you are an 11 person. You're born on the 11th of October, which means you're air sign with fire numbers. Now, yes, 1 + 1 is 2, but notice this 11 is composed of fire numbers because 1 is ruled by the element of fire. So your combination of air and fire, and it simply means you're very passionate about the things you do. You would have done well in areas connected with the food industry, the computer industry, or industries of service. But nonetheless, all 3 of your numbers indicate they are psychic. The psychic numbers in numerology are the 2, 6, and 7, and you, Ayana, possess all 3. So when I did your name, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that means you have somewhat of a restless spirit. You like to be movable. You like to have a lot of variety in your life. And you like some space every now and then too. But your key numbers again are the 2, 7, and 6, and Mondays and Fridays are your best days. Okay. So I want to thank Bonetta Sutton. She gave a donation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Aston Joseph, they're born. How come I can't put their name up there? Anyway, Aston Justice, he made a she made a donation, and they're born 12/21. All right, so they are a Sagittarius 3 person. So their numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. They happen to be their key. Yep, and they got me on 19 keys. Yep, that was it. He started it. Okay, it's all his fault. No, I'm only kidding. I mean, wow. I didn't know the man had 1,400,000 followers. And believe it, it came back this way too. Anyway, your numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. By the way, although you're born in 88, which means you're in your 30s, you don't look like you're in your 30s at all. You don't act like you're in your 30s. And when I say that, and that's not an insult, it's just your attitude, your mindset belies a much younger person, which is why if younger persons approach you romantically or otherwise, you should not be surprised. Not only that, but when I looked at your name too, your name will also attract older persons too, because I'm looking at you got 2 7s in your name, you've got a 4, and these are the numbers that tend to lean toward the older. So your name is what attracts the older relationships, which is none of my business, but your birthday is what attracts the younger relationships and men from different cultures too, whatever the case is. But I know you're very ambitious, but your numbers are the 3, 6, and 9, and Thursday and Friday and Tuesdays are your best days in that order. Not Tuesday is first, Thursday is first, Friday is second, then Tuesday. All right, so it's TTF. Those would be the days. And I thank you very much, all righty, for that. Now, let's see who can we get. Let's go back a bit. And by the way, I thank you very, very much. And for those of you who make donations, again, this is new. I'm learning what's going on with this because this was not my purpose. This was not my purpose to start this to try to make some money. Although I was told, yeah, man, you can make money. Yo, believe me, I need money. I got a number of kids, okay? Keeping it real. But to have this be my main objective to make the money, I think I would lose the point of being of service to my viewers. That's what I'm about. But at the same time, okay, this one is peace. Satra cannot live without art. Okay. So she says she's born on 4/4. That's Maya Angelou's birthday, and her daughter is born on, that's interesting, February the 2nd. Can you please tell our best days and months? That's easy. And just purchased the course. Thank you. It was on sale last week. It'll be on sale again soon, but you can still sign up and go to LLoyd-Strayhorn.com to get my free monthly newsletter. The monthly newsletter for March is out. I will show you that later. But here's the point. You are a fire sign. Your daughter is an air sign. And so your numbers are the 4, 1, and 9. Your daughter's numbers are the 2, 7, 4, and 1. So that's where she's getting the 4 and 1 from your side, but the 2 and 7 may be coming from her father's side, which means this to me: numerically, cosmically, through numerical DNA, that the father could either be born on the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month, or coming under the signs of Cancer, or coming under the sign of Pisces. Taurus, rather. Excuse me, Cancer and Taurus, not Pisces. So your best days, my dear mom, is always on Sunday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are your best days. As for your daughter, bless her soul, her best days are always on a Sunday and a Monday, and in a minor way, Wednesday. All right. So we got that. And again, thank you so much for purchasing the course. I hope you find the course helpful too. All righty. Okay. This one is Roro. Okay, they would like a reading, and she is born February the 17th. Her husband is born February the 12th. They're married 4 years. Whatever can you see for them, please share. Well, I'm looking at an air sign with an earth sign. These would be elements that would be astrologically termed as squared, which means they're not the best fit. Okay, but it's the mindset too, because here's the thing: she has an earth number and he has a fire number. So her earth number is drawn to his earth sign, and his fire number will be drawn to not only other fire signs, but air signs as well. See, this is one of the beauties of what I do in the world and the magical art of numerology, where you can see those exceptions to the rules, because they would have said, listen, Aquarians and Tauruses really don't make it. Okay, they both fixed signs, but they got different energies. If you look, one is a symbol of a human being, one is a symbol of a bull, and everybody know you don't mess with the bull. Okay, not unless you want some problems up in there. All righty, not unless it's a baby bull. But the point is, so the fact you've been married 4 years, which means if that's the case, that would be, what's this, 2023, that would be 2019, I believe, which would be the year of the 3. Now, your husband's numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. Your numbers are the 8, 4, and 1. So do you have any numbers in common? No. But what that means is this: in the case when couples come to me for relationships or marriage, if the couples don't, I always look to see what numbers or days or whatever do they have in common, and that's what you stick to. But let's say, for example, in this case of Roro's case, her sign and her mate signs are totally different. The numbers are totally different. And what I would do in this case is I would always, therefore, in this case, assign the most important dates for marriage and other things like that to the woman, because the woman is always the glue to the home. Okay, I know this so-called modern women, all this stuff they talking about, don't want to stay home, they're bored and all that stuff, but it is always the woman that puts a home together like no man ever can do. I'm sorry, I've seen my mother do it. You know what I mean? And my father was a strong Aries person, man. He would be barking them orders. He had his own business. He takes up. Father's my hero too, but my mother, she was a little old Virgo, short, you know what I'm saying? Sweet. That's my opinion of my mom. Thank you. But the point is that when my father would give those orders, my mother would just simply say, okay, honey. Okay, honey. And then dad would go on to work and do whatever he had to do to his business. And my mother would run that house. And only when my mother passed did I find out who really, really ran that house. And I would say that would be the same case in your case too, Roro. All righty. So if everything sometime is not on the same page and y'all have moments of disagreement, that don't mean you bail out. That's the easy way. That's the kind of coward way. You work through things. You got to work nowadays, okay? You can't just do the, well, I don't like no ketchup on my hamburger, and so you go back to your mother, and I like mustard instead. I mean, little trifling, silly stuff we have disagreements on, not the bigger picture. And let me tell you, in these crazy times we're in, we better stick together as a unit more than ever before. I cannot emphasize what's going on. So, for example, there are a lot of women now that are single mothers without guys, right? But what's happening is, quiet as they kept, they're beginning to put a lot of pressure on women. There was one in Texas, I think. There was a whole building of single mothers, and they were all put out. Don't think those women don't need no help. Okay, don't think they don't need some assistance. I'm maybe sure maybe a couple of them have, but I'm saying there's going to be pressure on women like never before. And I'm saying that if you don't have a male companion, well, you can have a companion anyway, whatever. But I'm telling you, you need to have a man around the house. And we men, we definitely need to have women around the house. And if you guys don't understand that, you'll lost the whole thing. And I don't know what to tell you. Me, I'm not down with none of that. Okay. So anyway, this she donated. Ellen donated. She appreciated Brother Lloyd. Sounds like a description of my mother. Yeah, may she continue to rest in peace. Yes, my mother is no longer here, but boy, do I miss her. She was great. She was great, at least in my case. All right, I can't say that about every parent because sometimes there's some drama or whatever the case is. All right. Anyway, let's get back to it. But I'm going to go to the tail end, and this person is from tech support. What can you tell me about a two combination, two life path, two psychic, two destinies, two names, April the 11th? I don't know what that means when you say that. Although yeah, you did give a birthday, and your numbers would be the 2, the 7, and the 6. That much is true. But when you talk about a two combination or two life paths, so let me do this. Let me look. So you're born in the year of the 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, that would be a 2. That definitely would be a 2 in that case. Yes. So when you say two psychic, whatever the case is, I don't quite understand, but I'll say this. You are a fire sign with fire numbers. That much I know. Fire represents people who are very proactive, very much into making things happen. That's for sure. And with this being the case, being under an Aries with a master number 11, which are the fire numbers, because they both ones, which is a fire, which is ruled by the element of fire. That means that this is your year to put in the work. You happen to be in a 4 personal year. Now, I have some kind of like adjustments. Some of my students says, well, you don't get to your 4 personal year until April. I say it started back in late September, October, where it says, okay, girl, you got to get yourself together. You got to get your act together. You got to get everything in order and whatnot. But I would say from your numbers are the 2, 7, and 6, which are all psychic and intuitive numbers, and your best days are Mondays and Fridays. And thank you so much for the donation. All right. So let's see. Panita says, okay, Vanetta says I'm absolutely right. Thank you very much for that, Vanetta. And by the way, leave comments. See, there's a lot of things I haven't mastered yet. When I have guests on this show, they'll say, click the link below for a description, or they'll tell you about something they want to know more. Click. I got to find out all that. Believe me, I'm working on it. Okay, because somebody mentioned that to me before, and I said that's a good idea because I've seen it all the time. So give me a little while, and I need to thank Empress Rel for monitoring the room this evening. And also, this is Dark Moon Goddess. She is July the 20th. That's interesting. But you know what's interesting? I just thought about it. Today is a 2 universal day. Today is a 2 universal week. And a lot of the people I'm reading coincidentally happen to be 2s, either the 2nd or the 11th or the 20th in the case of Dark Moon Goddess, or the 29th of the month. And so believe me, I'm not trying to pick out because it's a 2 day. I'm just noticing myself. Okay. I'm going at the top, then I'm going at the bottom. I'm trying to catch people all in between and those that are donating too. I'm just one person. I can't read everybody, so I'm not going to try, but I will do the best I can in the time allotted. So anyway, in this case, you being a water sign with a water moon, Dark Moon Goddess, and it's interesting because the 2 is ruled by the planet of the moon, and Cancer is ruled by the planet of the moon. So since you're a water sign with a water number, that means deeply intuitive. And again, your numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. This is about, I guess, the 5th or 6th reading. I know some of y'all out there, man, I'm going to play a number tonight. I know what number I'm going to play. Well, the numbers I play are the numbers that guide me to make the right decision, to be in the right place at the right time. That's my whole purpose, okay? But there are some of you who like to indulge in games of chance. And the fact that this number has come up about 4 or 5 times, that indicates. And it also tells me, Dark Moon Goddess, since Cancer is the sign that rules food, 2 is the number that rules food. Either you know how to burn those pots and pans, as you used to say, or you're very finicky, in particular about your eating habits and your dietary laws. but Mondays and Fridays are your best days, and your numbers again are the 2, 7, and 6. Okay, let me go back up again. Good. There's 111 views. We get more views up, please. Again, if you can't make a donation, like this person here, they made this person, Terrence Hansen. I don't know why their number's not showing up, but at any rate, hold on. Okay. Anyway, Terrence made a donation. Believe it or not, he's born. He's born April 16th. His numbers are the 7, 2, and 6. So either the numbers have been 2, 7, and 6, or 7, 2, and 6. But that seems to be the common denominator for this evening show. I don't know why, but he says, thank you for everything. They're born April 16th. That's the same day as Martin Lawrence and Pope John the 16th, or one of those popes. It was 16. He was born on the 16th of April, too, under a full moon. Now, when he says he's born under a full moon, that means when the sun was in the sign of Aries, his moon was in the sign of Libra. That's 6 signs away. That's a full moon. If he said he was born in a new moon, that means that both the sun and the moon was in the same sign at the same time. Okay. So his life path is a 5. Let me see. Is this correct? That would be 7. Yes, that would be correct. You're a 5 life path or 5 destiny or whatever. I would say you're in the 5th grade in the school of life, which means you like your space, you like your freedom. And 5s and 7s, like there's lots of questions, but 5s and 7s will also make an excellent writer, sir. And I would say you should try your hand at writing. You would be amazingly surprised at your natural talents. All of us, every single one of you listening in, have a talent, a gift, a skill, and ability. The key is to find out what that is. However, we're so distracted looking in everybody else's backyard that we fail to look in our own backyard. And so discover what you like. And don't worry about what they do. And those are what is called distractions, wasteless distractions, because none of those distractions are going to pay your bills, your rent, your mortgage, your food, your cell phone, your car notes, your insurance, none of it. None of it. So you might as well channel your energies into who you are, because again, you cannot run from yourself. I don't care how, even Joe Louis, the famous heavyweight champion, born on the 13th of May, said, you can run, but you can't hide. That's where that saying comes from. And it is true. So you can't hide from yourself. And so that is the most important thing. All righty. So let's go to Ingrid Brumfield, excuse me. We have somebody different. Okay. She is an Aquarius. She's an air sign with a fire number, which means very passionate. And by the way, looking at her name, looking at her birthday, although she's born in 1960, which means she turned 63 about 2-3 weeks ago, she don't look her age at all. So if she ever wondered why these young guys hitting on me or whatever the case is like that, I could explain it to her very, very easily. She doesn't look her age at all. And when I looked at her numbers, she's got a lot of 1s in her name. She's got a lot of youthful numbers. She's got a couple of 5s. She's got a couple of 3s. She's got a couple of 1s running through her name. So that would explain the youthfulness. Now, she does have a couple of maturity numbers, which are 4s. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4s in her name. So that means she will also attract odd and unusual relationships. And because she's an Aquarius, which is ruled by the number 4, I would expect, and I think I can safely say, at the time you've been here, my dear, you've attracted older men, younger men, men from different cultures, long distance relationships as well. Okay. That's what you did. All right. And by the way, your lucky numbers are the 3, 4, and 1, and Thursday and Sunday and Mondays are your best days. Okay. This is another contribution, nurturing with nature. Lametta, thanks for the service. I tell you, I can't make this up. They're born 11/11. Their numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. Okay. So this is a case where they have master numbers. They're born in a master number month, a master number day. In fact, this is the day, what they call this Veterans Day, or Armistice Day, one of those days with the military, 11/11. In fact, they celebrate in this country every year for the men in service. Okay. But anyway, what I'm looking at is that if you look, she's born in the year of 1982, which adds a 20, which is a 2. So the month, okay, I know they're master numbers, but bear with me. She's born in a month that adds up to the single digit of a 2. She's born in a year that adds up, on a day that adds up to the single digit of a 2, and 1982 adds the 20, and 2 plus 0 is 2. So she's triple twos across the board. And yes, you would be correct. 6 is definitely your destiny number, and you are correct. You are in a, no, you're not. You're in a master number, I do believe 11 personal year. Or you're saying, okay, I'm in a 1 personal year all the way to November. I'm seeing you're in a master number 11. If I did this right, 11, 11. This is the only time I'll take time, but most of this stuff is right here in my head. That's 3, 4. Yep, you happen to be in an 11 personal year. Okay, and this is how I did it. Okay, I don't know whether you can see it. See, it's kind of like, there we go. That's how you do it. You're supposed to take your month, and then you put your date underneath, and you put your year underneath that you want to know. You draw your lines, and it adds to an 11. So she's an 11, happen to be in the year of the 11. Her numbers, get this, the 2, 7, and 6. Can't make this up, but thank you for the donation. And she donated $11. Okay. So, I mean, it's just, these things are amazing. She was born at 3:30 p.m. So that means she was born around, because I'm looking at the time where her son is at. I think her son would be somewhere probably in the 3rd or 4th house of Cancer. Anyway, so that's it. Your numbers again, 2, 7, and 6. Mondays and Fridays are always your best days. And thank you so much for the donation. Please, for those of you who can't donate, I'm not looking for you to do that, but support the program. Just push the button, push like. That's not going to cost you no money. Okay. So do that. Help a brother out, as they say. All righty. And so anyway, let me see. This person here, this is interesting. How'd they say that? This is Harlem Jacks. Okay. And Harlem Jacks here says, what did she say? No, I'm on somebody else now. This is Nature's Native. I'll get back to that person. They're born September the 27th. This is Don Cornelius' birthday from Soul Train and a couple other famous people of note. But at any rate, your numbers are the 9, 6, and 3. This is one of the things that Nikolai Tesla, the famous inventor born on the sign of Cancer on July the 10th, back in the day, said that those who understand the power of the 3, 6, and 9 understand the universe. Because if you look at an astrologer, they will tell you how many degrees. Each sign is 30 degrees. 30 degrees times 12 equals that 360 degrees. And so either you are in conjunction 30 degrees, you are opposition 180 degrees, which is 9. You are square 90 degrees. So all these numbers, but they're always in increments of 3, 6s, and 9. So that is the thing. So in your case, that's you. And it tells me by your birthday, you tend to attract men in uniform too. So if you're dating a person in the military, law enforcement, whatever the case is, that does not surprise me. Now back to Harlem Jacks. Oh, by the way, yeah, I gave you your numbers, and your best days are always on a Friday. No, excuse me, Tuesday first, a Thursday, and a Friday. That's it. Now, she says, I'm getting a personal reading when my income tax hit. It's okay, Harlem Jacks. Believe me, don't think you got to come on here with some money. I mean, it's nice, but it's not what I'm after. If I will read you whether you have nothing in your pocket. And that's what I did for well over a year before people started donating back in November, December, just this year. And I started in 2020. Okay. And this is, 2021, July 2021. And so this will make 2 years, I think, 2, 3 years. But the point is, I've done it for no charge. So don't worry about your income tax, Harlem Jack. Okay. You give me a birthday. If I get to you, I will read you. Just that simple. All righty. No strings attached. None. Okay. Now this is interesting. This is Wanda 53. And she's born November the 13th, and he is born April the 26th. Now, the reason why I'm laughing is this. Astrologically and numerically, they're both oppositional signs. Okay. Here's what I mean. She is a water sign with an air number. He is an earth sign with an earth number. So that means he's more conservative. He's more kind of consistent about how he does something. He likes to stick to a routine, things of that nature. However, astrologically, the oppositional sign to Scorpio, your sign, Wanda, is his sign, Taurus. And to Taurus, the opposition sign to Taurus is Scorpio, which is your sign. Not only that, numerically, the oppositional number to the number 8 is the number 4, and to the number 4 is the number 8. So if you would have came to me and said, listen, Lloyd, me and my husband, we want to get married. Well, before make it married, would this be a marriage made in heaven? I would say no, to be honest. The one thing, if people have come, when you're spending your time with me and spending your hard-earned money, I'm not mean about it, but I'm honest. If I see that, this is what you want to do, fine. But what I'm saying is but they've probably figured out, looking at the year they're born, how to work with each other, although sometimes they work each other's nerves. He works her nerves, she works his nerves. That's how I go sometimes, okay? Again, only in these fairy tale books, they live happily ever after. That's where you find that at. In the real world, I've never met a couple, never, ever, that did not have a challenge or two. And it wasn't about cheating. It wasn't about this. It was just about temperaments with each other. And as now I don't feel it. I'm bored. I'm this, that, and the other. And then we're out, not trying to work through things. This is what's happening. And so I'm just saying, y'all like to be different. In your case, Wanda, your numbers are the 4, 1, and 9, which means you totally like to be different. You like to think outside the box. That's why your conservative husband sometimes wonder what's up with you. And it's not in a bad way, because he likes to go by a structured, organized way of doing something. He's earth. So he's practical. He's commonsensical, where you are an air number, which means no telling which way the wind is blowing. Okay. So that may cause some of it. But anyway, his numbers are the 8, 6, and 3. And your numbers are the 4, 1, and 9. Do you have any numbers in common? No, which means I would have set the wedding around you. So therefore, dear, if you married around February, April, August, or November, or close before you hit those months, that would make sense, because these are your power months, where those are not his power months. Anyway, that's enough. Okay, good. Okay. This person, Golden Seal Herb Appeal, said they just got their book in the mail. Yay, thank you. They're January the 17th, 1977. So they are an earth sign with an earth number, mean very pragmatic. Their key numbers are, since 1977, adds up to a 6, 6, 8, 5, 6, 6. I think your destiny numbers are 4. Could be a master number 22. But I'm doing everything in my head as I always do. Very rarely do I go to a paper, not unless I have a client in front of me, or I'm doing it on Zoom nowadays. Okay. And this means this person is very loyal. They're very dependable. And sometimes there will be acts of fate or destiny that will come and play a role in their affair. Let's say, for example, this person, January the 17th, is married. Well, that may not have been the first person they had planned to marry, but as fate or destiny happened, this is who they married. The numbers that tend to be more misunderstood than anything are number 8 and number 4s. With number 8, they tend to be sometimes the children of fate or destiny. This is why 8s look to the heavens for divine justice, because sometimes people down here don't get it. Okay. And so sometimes fate will take a deeper role. And I would say she's born in 77, but I would say probably only until her 33rd, 35th birthday that she started having some control over her affairs to do the things she does. Okay. And by the way, your lucky numbers are the 8, the 6, and the 3. And this is also one of my idols, legendary Muhammad Ali. Okay. This is his birthday. I got a lot of idols. Okay. But I think it's good to have them too. Okay. This is Leave It to Anna. Okay. Anna, thanks for the donation. Again, yes, I'm picking donations because I'm understanding the significance of what people are telling me, and I try to respond to that. But I'm saying for the freebies, the freebie mindset, okay, at least push the like button, the subscribe button, or the share button. That's the least you can do. I think if using your finger, I don't see where that costs you any money. What do you say? Okay. So please do that. All righty. So anyway, now her birthday is different. Yay. I could say she is 10/10. Okay. October the 10th. So that means she's an air sign with a fire number, which is complementary to one another. All righty. And when I say that, that means she is a very strong-willed person, She knows what she wants, and she's going to speak on it. And ones are always decisive as a rule, to the positive. Now, to the negative, they are indecisive. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you don't make a decision, you already made a decision, and that decision was to do nothing. But in the meantime, though, this would be a person who would have made an excellent lawyer, doctor, scientist, entrepreneur, supervisor, director, head of a department. She would have also done well in the area of law, medicine, or science to do that. Although her image doesn't show her wearing glasses, but if she does have sensitive eyes, it's probably the left eye more than the right eye that's a little bit more sensitive than anything else. And this is her year where her dreams are going to come true, because when I took 1010 to 19, to 20, 23, it added up to a 9. And since her numbers are the 1, 4, and 9, and she's in a 9 personal year this year, that means she's going to do even better next year in 2024 when she enters her 1 personal year cycle that matches her number completely. So I would say, listen, you're on your way. You're on your way. And by the way, you're refreshingly honest. I will tell people, if you don't want to hear the truth, don't talk to a number 1 person. Don't talk to a number 9 person, because they don't kind of shade things. They kind of tell the way they see it, or as my grandmother used to like the song, "Tell it like it is." Okay, and so that's how they are. And so again, nowadays, I guess if you're honest, people think you're mean, but you're not. Your numbers again are the 1, 4, 9, and Sundays and Tuesdays, and in a minor way, Wednesdays are your best days. Okay, thank you very much for that. All right, let's go back to. And by the way, I gotta thank the Williams family out of Chicago. They, among other people, have been one of my biggest fans, and they've always supported. Many of you have supported me from day one. Too many names I would spend a lot of time naming, but I'll pick names out every now and then to acknowledge, you know, you supporting me through all of this. Okay, this is very important. All right, now let's see. Somebody says, what's this? Anyone asking for a reading, please send some cash. I love the brother Lord. Thanks, Danielle, Scott. That was not the purpose, but if they can't send a donation, press the like button, press the share button, press the subscribe button. Don't cost you nothing, nothing at all. Okay. And this lend me, give me, can you spare really doesn't do us, is not to our benefit at all, folks. We don't do this elsewhere with any other group but ourselves. And I'm saying we really need to cut that out. We in the African American community are worth 1 point something $4 trillion in spending power. And yet we are the least economically in the best positions to better our lives. There's something wrong with that equation. And it's how we deal with each other as far as I'm concerned. Well, brother, give me a break. No, give me a break. This is all I'm saying. So yes, I'm getting on my little soapbox, but I'm trying to help us get ourselves together to deal with us the way we deal with other folks, with respect. And that's very important. So this whole thing, well, give me this, it's free. I mean, one time a lady said, well, Lloyd, you know, you're so good, you know, you should do this for free. But my kids was very small at that time. Can you imagine me going in the supermarket and telling the manager in the supermarket, well, you know, my client says I'm so good that I should buy all this food for free? He would look at me like I'm out my mind. So I'm saying that we don't do this with other people. So let's stop doing it to ourselves. That's it. That's my whole thing. So again, if you can't donate in that way that people are doing, at least you can donate in other ways, bartering, whatever the case is. All right, so let's see who else we got. We got here Alasa Savory. I hope Alasa Savory. Well, first of all, you got a lot of ones in your birthday, in your name. So that means that you are very decisive. You got a lot of ones. You got 1, 2, 3. You got more threes than one. So I tell you, you're a natural flirt. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way, but you know, you kind of, it's more organic. It's natural. It's not made up. It's not contrived, so to speak. But you are an earth sign with an earth number. You're born in a water year, which is year of the 2. Your destiny number would be a 6. That is, be your life path, which means symbolically you're in the 6th grade in the school of life. So that tells me you're always a work in progress, that you like to do things. You're always either trying to take yourself to the next level or whatever the case is. And so your key numbers, by the way, are the 8, the 6, and the 3. And it means Saturday, Fridays, and Thursdays. Working backwards are always your best days. Not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but Saturday's first, Friday second, Thursday is third. And you're very intense and misunderstood. But if I had to hang a motto over your door, it would be to know you is to love you without question. And your best days, again, as I said, are always on a Saturday, a Friday, and a Thursday. And Alyssa, thank you so much for that too. All right. And again, I got to thank my host, my moderator, um, Emperor, who is doing a fantastic job. I really appreciate this. Let me see who else we got here. I read them. Okay, I did that. Hold on. Okay. Now, this person here is Brother Bay. All righty. Peace to you too. All righty. He says he has a personal year reading for 2023. First of all, he's born on the same day as Ray Charles, John Coltrane, Bruce Springsteen, a couple other famous people, soccer star and great Pele, soccer Pele, who really popularized soccer around the world. It's very popular in Europe. So when they talk about football, they ain't talking about the football we have at Super Bowl. They talking about kicking the balls all around the field. All righty. But anyway, it tells me you will always be blessed to know somebody who knows somebody, my friend. It tells me that that's how you may have met your mate, got your job, got your car, got your apartment, things of that nature. You love your freedom. So I would ask that you, or I would know that if somebody was asking about you, I would tell them to give you some plenty of breathing room because you are an air sign with an air number. And air ain't just in one little corner of the room. Air is all over the place, okay? If so, we'd all have to take oxygen, air tanks with us to breathe. So since air is all over the place, and I'm more than likely, when you've settled down, sir, it's probably with somebody who is giving you the most breathing space since you're an air sign with an air number. Your lucky numbers, by the way, are the 5, 6, and 9. Your best days are always on a Wednesday, a Friday, and a Tuesday in that order. Although you could say Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, yours says Wednesday's first, Friday second, Tuesday's third. Now, when I say your lucky days, this is what I mean for those that are just, why I say these days. Let's say you got a very important interview that may make all the difference in the world with your resources, your economics, your position, things that take you to the next level. Then you pick your days. Everybody's day is not their day. So, again, we're so busy looking at everybody's backyard, what they're doing. We need to focus on what you're doing. That's what you need to do. And so in his case, if he says, Lloyd, this is a major appointment that I got to have, man. I need to make the best impression. Then my brother Bay, go on a Wednesday. If not, go on a Friday. If not, go on a Tuesday. Well, if that Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday is not available, guess what comes up next week? Next Wednesday, next Friday, next Tuesday, and the week after that, next Wednesday, next Friday, next Tuesday. But in other words, hanging out with the guys, bowling, talking a lot of smack, stuff like that. I ain't talking about that. But I'm talking about when you've got to make a decision with consequences on the other end of those decisions that you want to go your way. Sir, those are your days. Don't worry about somebody else's days. You focus on your days. And this is what people should be doing. Focus on who you are, not who they are, because they're not going to pay your bills. Now, if they're paying your bills, I'd say, yeah, focus on them. But I don't think of no Ye is paying nobody's bills up in here, not that I know of, or Kim, or this person, or Jay-Z, or Beyonce. And it's nice to follow them. Rihanna, it's nice. There's no question. But you need to begin to focus on you. You're the most important person in the room. Okay, because, but again, they got us so drifting off, distracted, that you got to get back to home base, which is yourself, and find out who you are. All righty. I think I read this. Yes, I did read these people. This person is YYD. And they made a donation. Their name is Dalton. They're born September the 22nd of 2002. They need some reading and advice for this year. Well, first of all, you happen to be a master number 22 person, and you happen to be a borderline case too. Here's what I'm saying. People born around the 20th, 21st, 22nd are called cusp children. That means you got a foot in one sign you're about to leave and a foot in another sign you have to leave. This is why you go to astrologers to find out, and you got to bring the time. The time is very important. The year and the location where you are born at is totally different. For example, I was talking to somebody in Portugal this morning. They are like 6 hours ahead. I was talking to somebody in Hawaii today. They're 6 hours behind. Okay. So 3:30 Hawaii time is not 3:30 Portuguese time or 3:30 US time. So that's why you need to have the exact time for the astrologist so you don't drive them nuts. And that's what used to drive me kind of crazy. A person say, yeah, I'm born 7:53 p.m. I do the chart, I come back. They found the birth certificate and they're born at 7:53 a.m. Boy, does that change the whole equation. So in the case of Dalton, she's a master number 22 person. I would say she's still Virgo. I would put you more Virgo. I would make your numbers more the 4, 1, and 5 than the 4, 1, and 6, because 4s and 6 clash. So I wouldn't put you in a clashing situation, because then you're not going to think too well of me. So 4, 1, and 5 are your best days, which means Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays are always your best days if you like to think outside the box. And this year you are in a 2 personal year, I do believe. Or it could be 11. Hold on, let me see something. 9, 22, 20, 23. Okay, Lloyd, that's 4, 5. Yep. You happen to be in a master number 11 personal year. So with you being a master number 22 and in a master number 11 personal year for 2023, you have no excuse not to achieve almost anything your heart desires. Okay. In other words, aim for the sun, even if you only hit the moon, but think big. Don't sell yourself short. Don't raise your value, raise your goals, raise your objectives. You're in a once in a rare cycle. Now, you can fool around, live it as a 2, same old, things move slow, changes around the home, change around the workplace, change in relationship. But the fact that you're a master number 22 in a master number year, that means you need to step into gear, okay, and handle your business and do all the things. And don't set any limitations on yourself either, by the way. And it's so interesting. The donation he gave was $13.99, which adds up to 22. I swear I can't make this up. I can't. I just can't. This is why I love this stuff. And you will too, once you know how to really look at the esoteric and metaphysical side of numbers. We all look at numbers for, currency, exchanges, cash, food, clothes, cars, those types of things, taxes. The doctors look at your numbers. But if you took a look at the metaphysical side of numbers, that just takes you to a whole nother level. So when I met Minister Louis Farrakhan on several occasions, he said that what I did was supreme mathematics. And I understood right away what he was talking about, because the universal language is mathematics. All these satellites they got to govern the GPS, you know what I'm saying? All that's numbers. Everything is numbers. That's how they send man into space and he gets back. That's how you can know how many miles you got, how long it's going to take you to get there. Like, wow, it's over an hour already. Whoa, I got to slow it down. But at the point I'm saying, you cannot do without numbers, especially from the esoteric side. So I thank this person very, very much. So let me just take about 3 or 4 more. And let me see. The likes are free, as my moderator says, please, they are free. So yes, I'm responding to, because I see I'm getting a little bit more donations than I do, but still, you can make your donation too, and it don't have to be in money. It don't. It could be in the way of like, yo, do you hear about this show? It's a great show, or I really like this show, so let me push the like button. You know what? I want to let somebody know this too. It's sharing. That's all you. And the last time I checked, that don't cost none of y'all up in here a penny. None. So please get the likes up, okay? For me. All right. Because if not, my moderator is going to let me know. And they let me know. Well, Lloyd, so and so and so. So I'm just saying, I want to make their jobs easy. So here's we have now. This is interesting. This is 369 dimensions. They're born March the 28th of 77, which means they're a fire sign with a fire number, which means they're very determined. Their numbers are the 1, 4, and 8. Now, persons born on the 28th, I call the divorce numbers. It doesn't mean divorce by marriage, but divorce from the material things that you're rightfully entitled to. And there are three things that normally cause these things. Okay, one. Normally, number ones are very honest with people, but people born on the 28th, you'll notice that people aren't always honest with you in return. Let's say, you like little Susie, coming up in junior high school, and you tell Louis to go tell Susie, put in a good word for you. Louis go over and talk to Susie, don't even bring your name up in the conversation. Okay, it's like that. So You got to understand, because you're honest with people in your conversations and dealing, doesn't mean people got to be always honest with you. That's what separates you from your money. The second one is this: who you seek your counsel from. Okay. Now, let's say you get in a numerology reading, you find out the guy fixed TV sets all day. Well, that might work for somebody else, but you need to see a person like me. This is all I do for decades. This is all I've done. This is why I wrote books and appeared on every national TV show, wrote for newspapers for 20 years, and as many as syndicated in 140 newspapers too. I've done all of this. So therefore, this person would be more, get the best results by coming to me rather than a person who says, I do numerology, but really my day job is fixing TV sets. The third one is this: putting your name on the dotted line. You should never let people push documents under your nose and say, just sign right there. When I used to sell insurance, and I sold insurance among my many other things until I got to where I wanted to be, they used to have this thing: the large words addeth and the small words taketh away. And their lawyer will tell you, what do you got to read? The fine print. So who you put your trust in, who you seek your advice from, and how you sign your name on the dotted line. Almost always, if you've been separated from your money, one of these three has probably been the cause of it. But your numbers are the 1, 4, 9, and you probably have sensitive eyes on the lower back too that you need to be concerned about. All right, I'm going to do one or two more, and then I'm going to I'll call this a day. And on Monday, I'm going to have. By the way, thanks very much, American, for the donation. Much appreciated. I do. Some people giving as little as 99 cents. It's okay. But the point is, they make the effort. That's the point. You make an effort. Push the button. No, no. I don't see what effort that causes. Okay. You don't have to give up no money. Nothing. Just push the like, share, subscribe. Okay. And thank you so much for that. Now, this is Javon Knight. She is February the 15th. Happy belated birthday to you, which was last week. And her numbers are the 6, 2, and 7. And 6s are people who got a good sense of judgment, a good sense of right and wrong, a good sense of like always taking themselves to the next level. They're always a work in progress as a rule. So since you are in a 6 personal year and you're born on the 15th, which is a 6, this is your pregnancy cycle. You are born in 1997. So when I say pregnancy cycle, don't forget, numbers also speak in symbolic terms too. It's like you go to a doctor and they'll take your blood pressure, and those numbers will symbolically tell them whether your blood pressure is normal or not. Well, I do the same thing numerically speaking. And I'm saying that this person is in a 6 personal year and they're born on the 15th. So 6 rules: love, marriage, separation, divorce, births, pregnancies, moving into a home, moving out of a home. And only because they're born in 1997, I mentioned the fact that they are in a pregnancy cycle. And here's what I mean: they don't necessarily have to become pregnant. Some friends around them say, girl, you're going to be a godmother. Girl, you're going to be an auntie, or whatever the case is. Or she may give birth to an idea, birth to a plan, birth to a project, birth to a goal or a plan. Numbers speak in symbolic terms. This is what you got to say. And so your key numbers, by the way, are the 6, 2, and 7. We're back to that combination again. And your best days are always on a Friday in this case and Monday in the other case. Okay. So I'm going to just take one more. I wish I could close my eyes and just pick. And I just did too. That's just what I did. See, bad guy. He donated 99 cents, but it's not the point. The point is that he made the effort and he didn't give a birthday. So, oh, there he is right there. I had somebody else. I'm sorry. Thanks for the donation. And I will do one more person. And this is Cherish Brown. Miss Cherish Brown, she is a November 1. She's a Scorpio 1 lady. That means she's strong-willed, very determined. So she's a water sign with a fire number, which sounds contradictory. I would say it all depends on what day of the week you catch up on. See what I'm saying? So if you catch her on one of those days that's good, you're just going to get that best from her. But if you catch on one of them days where it's kind of cloudy, stormy, not so good, then you might get it. But she doesn't take orders well. She did her birthday. She's born in the year of the 8, because 1979 has the 26, which is an 8. And then, so she is a master number according to the way she does her numbers. But her key numbers are the 1, 4, and 9. And Sunday, followed by Tuesdays, are always her best days. All right, folks, I really got to stop. For those who've made donations, I will take one more. This is Ashley. Wow, all these 11s today. This is amazing. March the 11th. This is Rupert Murdoch's birthday. He's in trouble with Fox News, because they caught him not telling the truth. But are we surprised? Anyway, this is Rupert Murdoch's birthday and a couple other famous people of note. Nonetheless, though, it tells me very visionary. You're very extraordinary. You think different from most people, which is the master numbers. This is what they do. This is because it's composed of ones, and ones are your innovators, your pioneers, your unique inventors, things like that. They bring to concepts things that have never been brought before. So you got 2 ones going for you. That's what makes the master numbers special. Yet the original definition says trials and tribulations, great danger and defeat of plans, and grief and deceptions caused by members of the opposite sex as well. That's the old definition to the 11. So anyway, the old definition to 22 is a guy, a muzzle lion is about to attack this guy and he can't resist. It's not the tarot cards. The tarot speaks in picture symbols where they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. But anyway, in your case, this year you are in a 3 personal year and your numbers are the 2, 7, and 3 anyway. So this is your year to expand, to grow, to evolve to the next level, and things of that nature. So this is what I am seeing. Alrighty. So everybody, I want to thank you very, very much for this. And by the way, they said, Lloyd, put up a banner. Okay, that's my banner. That's everything right there. How you can get to me, Astro-Numerologist, author site, LLoyd-Strayhorn.com. That's where you sign up to get the free monthly newsletter, That's where you sign up to get the classes when they're on sale at the discount. This is where you go to my website, LLoyd-Strayhorn.com, to also listen to the Numbers in You podcast. Okay, that just come up thanks to Miss K. Williams, who did that. Sign up for the free monthly newsletters. The monthly newsletters here, online courses. My Instagram is Numbers in You. I'm not doing Clubhouse right now, but I am on Twitter. I am on Facebook. I am on LinkedIn. You can see me there. Alrighty, so that's it for there. And by the way, let me just say this for you. Tonight's show has been brought to you by the Sisterhoods of the Traveling Spreads, Jazz Aphrodite, Nina Diamond, Aquarius Maximus. They're having a 6-week class. These women are no joke. For those who have taken the classes, I wish I could maybe call some people up to testify about them. But I took one of the courses. I'm here to tell you, these women know exactly what they're doing. So they sponsored the show. I appreciate that. And by the way, this is Jackie's book. It is in a limited edition. So don't think, well, next year I'll do that. Well, next year will be 2023. Don't do that. You need to do this now while she's got some books on hand. Me, I've already ordered books. Simon has already ordered books. This is how you do it. We show support for each other. And by the way, on the 11th, Sister Yana Van Zandt is going to have an intensive on relationships. And for those of you, my monthly newsletter, March, is now out. So for those of you who subscribed, you should have gotten it in the mail this morning. For those of you who want to and didn't get it, just go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, to get them, and you will do that. And also tune in to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, and listen to my podcast. One of my first persons interviewed in the podcast was Sister Iyanla Van Zandt, followed by, and by the way, King Simon is on there too. And I've got Queen of Four. In fact, I've got, from what I'm told, weeks worth of material on the podcast that's now on Spreaker, Audible, iHeart, Spotify, some of these other things that I'm not familiar with, but they're there. Okay. So everybody, I want to thank you. Monday, I have a brand new and exciting guest. Her name is Love Rainey. And no, I'm not showing you her picture now, but she's awesome. And so please tune in Monday. For those of you who made the donations, it is much, much appreciated, although that is not my goal, but it is nice and I'm going to acknowledge it. And for those of you who didn't, you're still cool with me. But how you can help is just, share, like, subscribe. Simple. Okay. And my moderator is going to tell me too. Because see, I don't keep count. I don't know where to see how many people are liking and all that stuff. I'm busy focusing on trying to answer you and talk and all these things and do all these other gyrations. But anyway, so again, the podcast, Numbers in You, Lloyd-Strayhorn, and then the newsletter is free. Go to Lloyd-Strayhorn.com and sign up and get it. You'll get it as soon as you sign up. Yana Van Zandt is coming up next week. This is Jackie Levine's book that is on sale, very limited. And let me tell you, I could tell from the, and she's a Taurus. Taurus is about quality. And she has done no less than with Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded. I don't know how she came up with it, but God bless her. And again, this show this week has been brought to you by Sisterhoods of the Traveling Spreads. Okay. So, everybody, I want to thank you very much. Have a great weekend, a great day. And I always enjoy this. And so I figured out once or twice a month, I'm going to do the show all by myself. The person that I have on Monday is not going to be doing birthdays. She's going to be talking about wellness. She's a wellness practitioner. So about health and other things like that too. The numbers are good. The signs are good. But if you ain't got the best of health, it don't mean nothing. So next week is Health Week. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And then on Wednesday, I'm having Bryson Carr and his good buddy Craig, who is into physical fitness. All right. So we all get ourselves in shape up in this piece. All righty. Everybody, have a very nice day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't realize I talked over an hour, but I love what I do. What can I do? Bye.